Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Co-Racing League. This is round number 8 of the championship. My name is ILT Indigo, or Jamie, if you want to call me that. And we are here for Monza, so let's see how it goes. Last time out, we were in Portimao, and I raced there too in Tier 1 on Thursday, which turned out to be a bad decision for me because I absolutely had no grip wherever I went on that circuit. It was absolutely horrible with the low grip surface. Well, even the tyre temperatures turned down, or the tyre pressures, I still struggled around there. So we're here at Monza. It can be quite difficult in terms of tyre temperature as well. The heat up really badly too around this circuit, even though it is a short circuit around here with long straights and a few high speed corners and a few chicanes to go with it too. So let's see how these drivers tackle it. And we've got a few drivers out on the circuit then, so the Aston Martin is one of them, and it's Craigo who's the first one on the circuit then, so I haven't seen him for a while, but I'm not quite sure if he's in Tier 4 or Tier 3. Good evening, Glowstick. Well, not Tier 3 obviously, because I haven't seen him. He must be in Tier 4. Good evening, Glowstick. Good evening, Maconi. How are you doing, Jamie? Good, thank you. Oh, he said, are you muted? Am I muted? Am I speaking? Let's have a look. If I'm muted, that'd be very embarrassing doing the intro, forgetting that I'm speaking. No, I'm not muted. You had to make me check, didn't you, Maconi? Anyways, Craigo is on a lap time then, so let's see how he's progressed. And Tier 4 or Tier 5 last season, he's picked up a few podiums and a race win as well, so he's known to be picking up podiums now and then. He was the Chinese Grand Prix race winner, I remember, at Season 9, at the first race of the season in China. So decent exit at Turn 1 and Turn 2, very nicely lined up as well. Car seemed to be very stable in the rear end, no signs of losing the back end either, as we head down to Turn number 4 and turn number 5. Do you know what? My research is bad. This is still a chicane. But what's that flat out right hand accord? It is flat out. It's not really a corner these days in Formula 1. I will remember. Is it Le Grande? No? I can't actually remember. This is very bad. Being an F1 fan for a long time. I've commentated around here too. It's called Grande something. Kerber Grande. There we go. I actually remember now. Yeah, it wasn't that difficult, was it? But anyways, we head down towards the end of the middle sector on board with Craigo. It's a 54.0, so he takes a lot of steering input there into the first part of the Variante chicane. That's in Imola, Jamie, not in Monza. That is Ascari. Sorry, can't disrespect Ascari. Well-known corner, very famous corner indeed. As we head into Parabolica. It's not actually called Parabolica, it's called something else. But I've been too lazy and not done my research, so I'm not really caring what the corners are called. But here we are. The benchmark is a 21.3 then, so that's the time everybody has to beat. And first up is Jack coming across the line. It is a 19.7 now, so instantly smashes that time. Mark Wilson in P2 with a 20.2, and Mark Wilson, I think, retired on the first lap at the penultimate corner somewhere. I think he took too much curb or lost the rear end, unfortunately, as a result, ending retirement. And he needs to score a decent result because he's currently last in the championship with 0 points. So yeah, he's very desperate for some points right now. He was going to be one of the main contenders for the championship at the beginning of the season, along with Nacho, because I think Mark Wilson won the championship in Tier 5. Tier 4 last season, I think, and Nacho came in second place. Do you know what? I'm actually forgetting now. I commentated for Tier 4 last season, and Mark Wilson and Nacho in Tier 5 in the other season before. So on board with ILT Crack then, and he in the other McLaren is doing a fantastic job so far in the championship. I think he's currently P2 in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a look. Yes, he is. He's P2 in the championship, and this is a golden opportunity for him because India Jesus is the championship leader, and he is not here tonight. So this gives a big opportunity to ILT Crack to close down the deficit in the championship or take the lead. So he can't afford to waste this opportunity. Oh, we almost lost it quite out. Oh, we almost lost it quite out again. Coming out of Ascari, the back end went once, then it went twice, but luckily for him, not in the wall, because in recent years of the game, a lot of people used to crash out of Ascari, including me, hit the inside or outside wall. It was very common, but in these days, not a lot of people lose it there. As we crossed the line for him, it's P4, so he lost a lot of time coming out of Ascari too. So our pole sitter is currently Tobes with a 19.4. A good qualifier, Tobe, but a good race driver too. He's qualified in the top 5 quite a lot this season, but here he is on pole position. DC in the top 3 is the only driver not to have a win this season. I say the only driver, I meant in the championship contending standings. He's currently P4 in the championship, and he's had a lot of podiums. He was the championship leader a few rounds ago without a race win. Currently P4. He really did struggle in Portugal. I think he had the same problem with me, with the tyres constantly overheating and sliding through those slow speed corners. It's really great, you know, to race sometimes, because I don't race as commonly as I did like in 2020, 2021, so I don't have a lot of race knowledge. But when I raced, it gave me a lot of knowledge about what it actually felt like being out there on the circuit instead of the comms box. So that was really great for me to get some information and doing a whole race distance on the qualifying. I still league race, but only once, and once is not enough because I am not racing as I used to do back then. I used to be in a league race every single day back in 2019. Monday to Sunday, every single day league racing. That's how much of a sweat I was, and that's why I could bring some great knowledgeable information to you guys in the commentary box and tell you about how these things go. But not anymore, because I don't race a lot. But here's Steve Land making his return to the grid, currently in P7 with a 20.2 on the board, just behind KXI by about a few hundredths of a second too. So good evening everybody in the chat, hopefully you're all doing alright. 16 drivers, which is not too bad, because I heard not a lot of people would be attending, but thankfully they are attending, which is 16 of them. Solid lap times says McCody in the chat was a solid lap. What lap time should they be aiming for? Because I'm not gonna lie, I think my lap times have been in the 19s too, and that's good for tier 3, you know. So that's really outstanding performance there from Tobes in P1. ILT Crack is on another lap time. He's on 2 lap holes set of soft compound tyres, so he's going for consecutive runs on the same set of softs, and you're gonna be really careful doing this, you know, because these 310s down the first sector, so if I was him, I'd just bail out of it, because the more you do this, the more high chance of risking damaging your front wing or crashing the car completely due to having no grip, well, loss of grip. Because in the high speed corners and the heavy braking zones, it's really easy to lose the back end of the car and smash the car too. So you can be really careful while doing consecutive laps on an old set, because it's caught me out too in the past while going for consecutive runs, and it's 410s down the middle sector. This is where he struggled, you know, so I'd be really careful if I was him. And a massive slide going out of Ascari, and that, my friend, unfortunately has to bail out. He can't afford to use too much of his lives, because that's twice or 3 times I've seen him do that. So he's going to be really careful not to do it again, because next time it's going to be in the wall. Rapid's gone P1, and there must be a problem with my screen, because there we go at 19.2. I was wondering why I couldn't see Tobes go quickest, because usually at the top of the screen it says fastest lap, so I was wondering if I had a glitch or not, but it looks like that's sorted out for now. And Rapid then, looking very good this season. He's catapulted from P5 to P3 in the championship. He's on course for a championship challenge along with Indian Jesus, DC, and Nacho there, getting in the gravel, not where you want to go, my friend. And he's going to cost himself a lot of time too. That second chicane is really difficult, because you hit those curbs, you hit them too much, it'll put your car in the gravel, so you can be really careful not to do that. And I know what it feels like as well, bounce over those curbs. It's not a great feeling whatsoever, puts you in the gravel, but in the race it's really crucial not to lose those places too. Glowstick in 16th place then, not set a lot of time, along with Nacho, Jay Hartnell and Dragon on Speed, and Craigo, not a representative I dare say. Craigo says in the chat while I read it, he says, back out, been out for 3 months injured, feels good to be back there. So yeah, Craigo unfortunately has been injured, but hopefully he is recovered and can race, currently in P12 so far, as Glowstick has invalidated coming out of Ascari then, so that'll be a big detrimental for him. That'll be detrimental for him. And Mazzles in the middle sector is 2/10 down, but what can he do? He gains 1/10 in the middle sector then, so somewhere in the first sector has had a shocker but found some time in the middle sector. But what about this last sector? Can he find any more time as we see more drivers out on the circuit then? As Nathan in the chat says hiya, Danielle says good evening, good luck Mark, winning her man on the course, and hopefully Mark Wilson can get some points to the board, because he's still got 0 next to his name and the only driver in the championship not to score points. And here comes Mazzles as he makes his way towards the line. It's P7 for him, and I know his best qualifying performance has been at the Spanish Grand Prix last season in the AlphaTauri. I think both AlphaTauris had great qualifying sessions as well. I think they qualified 3rd and 4th, and that's the best I've seen him so far. Ross, his AlphaTauri teammate, is not here tonight. It's currently Jack in P3, and now Jay Hart now goes into P3 with a 19.6. So the Alfa Romeo driver, now KXI, goes into P3. Do you know what? Instead of squids in my eyes, I really should put my glasses on. I say this every single week in, week out. I keep squinting at the screen trying to look what the difference between the times are, and I've got my glasses right in front of me, so let me pop those on, and there we go. My vision went from 50% to 100% now, so I should be able to see things clear as day now. There's DC, 1/10 up in the middle sector, currently P4 in the championship, scored quite a few podiums this season, still searching for that race win. And when can he get it? I wonder. He took pole position back at the Portuguese Grand Prix, but what can he do here in Monza? It's a 19.6, and he puts that Mercedes into a critical P3, 3 thousandths ahead of KXI. And Dragon on Speed and Glowstick haven't set a lap time just yet, so we are waiting to see what they can do. Dragon on Speed is back in the pit lane, and he was doing an outlap too, so wonder what his strategy is. And here is our championship leader, Indian Jesus. Good evening, please don't score too many points, guys. And Stevan has gone into P3. Yeah, he's talking to Rapid, he's talking to DC. Who else is he talking to? ILT Crack is currently in P9, and Crack is on a brand new set of softs. But do you know what? Crack looks like he's struggling here tonight, especially in Ascari. The back of the car just seems to step out, whether he's carrying a low downforce setup. Everybody should be carrying a low downforce setup, but yep, he takes that curve on the exit. Oh, he's in the gravel. Oh, he's out, and he's crashed. And you could see that coming from a mile away. He was not willing to bail out the throttle. It was all or nothing as his teammate goes behind him and puts his McLaren into P10. But ILT Crack was not willing to bail out the throttle, and therefore as a result ends up in the barrier and out of the session. He's really riding that curb though in Ascari. Is that what you have to do? Because I don't take that curb going into the second part of Ascari. Maybe I touch it slightly, but not too much, because I find myself losing the back end of the car. So that seems to be his kryptonite so far, that Ascari chicane. And hopefully it doesn't happen in the race, because he's P2 in the championship, and Rapid's not too far away from him in the championship either. So really hope that he has a good race. Let's have a look at the difference in the championship. 11 points separates Rapid and Crack for P2, as we see Not Jack in the AlphaTauri. Used to be in Tier 1, Not Jack. I remember him at the Monaco Grand Prix when he had a fantastic first stint, I think on the hard compound tyres, holding everybody up. He was really quick as well, but in the second stint he lost his wheel. I think he was only about one or two laps in the stint on the mediums, and he just lost his wheel going into Nova chicane. And that cost him a lot as well. He came back for the French GP, and I remember him getting a puncher after being on the hard compound tyres majority of the stint too. King Panda's another driver to watch out for too. He's been astonishing this season too. Remember him having COVID at the French GP, but ever since then he's been looking really strong and on form too. Unlike his teammate in P2 there in the championship, King Panda is not far away from KXI, and here he is in the Alpine. Won the USA Grand Prix. I think after a race he scored a podium as well, so looking on good form so far. King Panda used to race in Tier 4 last season, along with, I just remembered his name but I forgot now. The name, I could see his name in my head, but it just popped out. Now I'm going to remember what his name is. Bazza, there we go, Bazza Fox. He was supposed to be racing here this season, wasn't he? Or has he moved up to Tier 2? Do you know what? I don't really pay attention enough, but I should do as a commentator. Here's King Panda, a 10th up in the first sector into this difficult chicane. You want to clip the apexes, and that's how you do it. Maybe miss the second apex slightly, but decent exit nonetheless as we head through the first Lesbo through 6th gear, carrying a lot of speed. Also in the second Lesbo as well, important to carry the minimum speed and use all the curb on the exit. I think we saw Kevin Magnussen in 2020 lose it when he tried to get out of not Q1 before she got knocked out too. That's the race where Pierre Gasly won too. And 4/10 up, that's a big improvement, but not enough to try and get a pole away from his teammate. Maybe P2 at best. But we'll see how the rest of the lap unfolds for King Thai Panda, who's currently on the back straight then as we head down into, I was about to say Ascari then. My head's fumbled tonight, I don't even know what's going on. This is Parabolica, and we'll see what lap time we can set. With 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in qualifying, it's P7, so we lost a bit of time in the final sector. Maybe got bogged down a bit because he applied a higher gear going into Ascari, so he could get the throttle as he really wanted. Dragon of Speed then, he's out of the garage, and well, let's see what speed he's got in the Ferrari. Not enough though, because this is going to be a slow lap for him. Yeah, it is, a 21.2. So it's not a qualifying ban, otherwise he won't be able to be out there at all. But looks like he's really struggling here in Monza. To be fair, he's played a lot of ACC recently. I know a lot of Cone boys have been playing ACC. Maybe not just adjusted to F1 yet. Maybe just struggling in general. Who knows around this circuit? It is a difficult circuit, a short circuit, but challenging corners, heavy braking zones, high-speed corners like Ascari as well. Very important to get right. So the real DC is out on the track then, and he's coming towards the end of the first sector. Can this be an improvement? Yes, it is. 1/10 up in the first sector is DC as he makes his way now into the second chicane, tapping those curbs really nicely. That's what you want to do. You just want to kiss them, but you don't want to ride them or take too much curb on the inside, because it's all about precision as well. You got to be really precise in those corners. I remember in the olden games you could really ride those corners, but not in this game. I watched a 2008 video of Sebastian Vettel in the Toro Rosso, and he was really attacking the curbs, but you can't do that in Formula 1 these days, or in the game at least, because the curbs will throw you off the circuit. Gets a decent tow from the Red Bull as well. I think that might be KXI. I think he's the only Red Bull on this track or in the lobby. But here he is, the DC comes out of the final corner. Is this going to be a second consecutive pole as he crosses the line? No, it's P4 with a 19.5 then, so misses out by about 2.5 tenths. What about Jack and the AlphaTauri? Jack is really strong as well. That's 2 tenths up the first sector. If Jack could continue that, he might take pole away as we make our way now into the first Lesmo, carrying it through 5th gear. Then pinning it on the exit, going through the second Lesmo as well, down into 5th. Use the curb to rotate the car, use the curb on the outside to maximise all of the circuit. As majority of drivers then with 45 seconds left to go in the session or out on the circuit, 2 tenths up. This could be pole, you know, from Jack. Going to keep it nice and clean now going into Ascari, which he does do, carrying the speed, flicking the steering wheel with only one movement, and Mazel's, his teammate, goes into P9 with a 19.7. Now Glowstick gets a lap time on the board, puts himself into P8. King Panda has retired in the garage, I think he has, not on the circuit. Here is Jack out of the corner. What lap time is going to be? Is he going to be pole? And it is with a 19.2, but only just though. So Rapid on his final attempt is heading down into turn 1, the turn 2 complex. Tobes is a few hundreds up in the first sector, is the Ferrari driver, so needs to find a bit more time. That was a decent exit out of the second chicane. Really carried the speed. The back of the car looks like it was stable as well as we make our way now into the second Degner, or second Lesmo. This is not the Japanese Grand Prix, it's the Monza GP. And now the second DRS. So do you know what? Thinking about it now, should this be the second DRS? So should there be DRS headed down this Parabolica? That's straight we're coming on now, approaching Ascari. This part of the track here. Why not have DRS down here? Maybe it's a safety issue, I'm not quite sure. But I know tracks have like 4 DRS zones. Albert Park, Saudi Arabia, maybe more tracks. I can't actually remember, to be honest. But this one only has 2. And Tobes exits the Parabolica, and let's see if he can take pole away from Jack as he makes his way now towards the line for Tifosi. It's a 19.3 only for him. Rapid is a few hundreds up in the middle sector. Is that going to be enough to secure pole position around here at Monza? Let's have a look then as he makes his way towards the line. Now there's 2 cars going side by side in the pit lane, and he does. He takes it away by 2 tenths, and 19.0 for Rapid. Great lap time indeed. Mark Wilson puts his McLaren into P6. Decent performance there, and I think that is it for qualifying. But Craig goes the last one to cross the line, then hopefully he can get himself out of last place, but he won't be doing that because he validated the exit of Parabolica 2. So qualifying commences then, and will be entering the race with Rapid on pole with Jack in P2. These drivers know it is very important in this race that the championship lead is not here to try and take as many points as away, in fact being the championship lead. I'll go to the toilet, I'll be back with you momentarily. Hopefully you enjoy that qualifying session. Alright, I'm back and we're on the formation lap 2, so let's see what everybody has gone for in terms of tyres. So, majority are mediums, Stevan on the hard compound tyres, Glowstick has gone for an interesting strategy on the soft compound tyres, and Nacho and Crack on the hard compound tyres too. So, hello Casper Gillard, hopefully you're alright mate. Hello Wee good evening, good luck Mark. A lot of Mark fans here tonight, currently in P6, so doing a great job so far, but hopefully I really hope he can score his first points of the season, because he's had a lot of DNFs this season and his recent one as well here in Portimao, and hopefully he can change it up and get some good results. KXI also fighting for a podium last race too, was fighting along with, I think it was in my head they've gone out, it was Rapid he was fighting for a podium for, but dropped out of it eventually after being on older tyres. And we'll see the strategy too, because there's been a few strategy that really intrigued me in the past few races. A lot of strategy calls and not going well in some people's favour, so we'll see if it's a one stop. It'll be a two stop strategy if a safety car comes out. Let's go Alfa Romeo boys. Obviously, if you guys don't know that, so this is a combined constructors championship, so these guys here, and depending on what teams they are, will be helping the other people as well in different divisions. If I got that right, it's a whole combined constructors championship, because these points are very critical. Same for tier 1, tier 2, tier 4 as well, combined. You know what, that's very interesting. I've not seen a league do that at all. Now thinking about it, like a combined constructor, but we'll talk about it later. As the lights are about to go away then, we'll see how the start goes, and can Jack try and jump Rapid into turn 1? We'll see. Can Rapid get a race win under his belt and try and take the championship lead? The lights are away for round number 9, and DC's already overtaken Tobes. Looks like he got bogged down at the start, but as we head down into the heavy braking zone at turn 1, can Jack take the inside line? No, he can't. As you can see, Rapid takes the lead. As you see, the RP tapped the Ferrari. The Alfa Romeo spun, and Stevan unfortunately spun. We've got some more contact in the midfield there, but that's very unlucky. The Ferrari, whoever that was late to their brakes, I think they were, and he's dropped him into P14 now. We saw more melee in the midfield there, but my thing is glitched. As we head down into the second chicane we go. Jack on the inside. Can he try and take the lead around the outside? Dips a wheel in the gravel there, and Rapid will stay in the lead in P1 then, and there's already a gap forming in the midfield then, but my thing has glitched. There we go, as we've got some more changes in the midfield. Stevan's been dropped into P12 as he fights with Polishman. Hopefully he hasn't got any damage. Dragon speed, losing the car out of Lesmo 1. As we head down into the second Lesmo we go. KXI has overtaken Mark Wilson, up into P5 he goes there, but Jack's not done yet. He's overtaken Rapid going into Ascari, so he tried to attack him 3 times, and the third time, lucky indeed, takes P1 away for Rapid, but what he has to do is stay in this DRS range, or stay in his DRS, and yeah, there he is. I thought he would go for it down his Parabolica, but I think it's wisely off it, of course, as we head down into the final corner we go. Mark Wilson close enough on KXI. I thought he was, but bails out of it, as we see Rapid then all over back of Jack, as he will try and take the lead immediately as we head onto the home straight, end off lap 1 to head into lap 2. We've had a few carnages so far as Polishman's in the pit lane. As we head down turn 1, Jack tries to brake later on the brakes on the inside, and he stays in the lead as well. Great move from Jack, great defensive move, as Rapid knew he could have put his nose down the inside, otherwise it'll take him out. But you can see Mark Wilson fighting for P5s to make contact going into the Della Rocha chicane. No, it's not, it's the Curva Grande. As we head down into the Curva Grande we go. I don't even know what I'm talking about, keep mixing up my words, but that's a great move for Mark Wilson down the inside of Tobes. Puts himself up into P4, that's 2 cars in 2 corners then. And KXI been looking to fight back on Tobes going down into the first Lesmo we go. But there's a gap starting to form in the midfield then. Can Mark Wilson get in the DRS range of the real DC before the DRS comes out? Because that's very critical in these opening stages of the race. It's all about being that DRS train. And it's so easy as well. Once you're out of the DRS train, it's hard to come back from it. But Glowstick's still in P8 after being on the soft compound tyres, so not really gaining anything on those soft compound tyres. Actually gained 1 place to my mistake there. As we head down into Parabolica, then he'll be looking to go aggressive on those soft compound tyres before they start to fade away. As Dragon of Speed's had a problem going out of Ascari, and I think he spun, but thankfully he's kept going and pointed in the right directions. And unfortunately for the Ferrari driver, has really struggled this season. I thought he'd be up there along with his teammate as DRS has been enabled. Mark Wilson is just hovering out of DRS range now and then, but it's really critical before it starts opening, going down into Ascari. As you can see, Glowstick tried to find ways to get past people on those soft compound tyres, but the door is firmly closed as ILT Crack puts himself up into P9. Starts, I think, in P12 and now has gained 3 places in 3 laps. He's in the championship fight too, so he can't afford any mistakes, especially in the Ascari there. That's where he struggled the most and crashed. He will not bail out the throttle at all. As Jay Hart now... Oh, Mazzles has crashed. Where's that? Exit of the second chicane, and he is out of the race, unfortunately for him, so he becomes our first retirement in this race, and an early safety car is deployed. So I don't think nobody is going to have or going to make a pit stop. I think it's too early. Maybe some people might consider pitting further down the midfield. What tyres are people on? What about Steve? Will he go hard, medium, medium? Is that a P11? Let's have a look. None of these guys will pit. It's quite unwise to pit early stage of this Grand Prix. People further behind got nothing to lose. Might consider a pit stop. Maybe Glowstick off those soft compound tyres because... Oh, he's pitted! Well, Jack has came in the pit lane. So has Rapid. Some people have opted to stay out there. So we'll see if their strategy works. Usually this early in the race, you don't really go for a pit stop. Unless you Glowstick on the soft compound tyres or people further down that have got nothing to lose. Maybe... Let's have a look. Oh, front wing damage as well. I thought I saw Mercedes have front wing damage earlier on. That must have been Glowstick up the inside into turn 1. Or was it somebody else? And referring back to that incident we had at... where was it? The first corner on the first lap. Somebody wiped out Stevan as they were late to the brakes. I think there were 3 abreast going down into turn 1. I'll have a look right now. I commentated for Tier 5 last season of the Monza Grand Prix. Or was it a season before? I actually can't remember. It was with Leroy, and I think I remember Mark Wilson being up in P2. It was Icon X who was leading the Grand Prix. Then he crashed out under a safety car. But I can't actually remember who won that Grand Prix. Was it Mark Wilson? If Danielle can back me in the chat there, maybe ask him last season if she can. Under a safety car, be quite wise to ask, but not in the race, of course. So let me go back to the first lap of the race. Somebody was late to the brakes down into turn 1, and that was an Alpine. Actually, it was King Panda who might have taken out Stevan, but he lost his wing. Did he change it in the pit lane? No, he didn't pit. Has he? Has he pitted? No, he hasn't. Oh, so I see what's going on here. And McLaren lost his wing in the midfield as an end plate went off the car. Yeah, 3-1 never goes, unfortunately. Yeah, Glowstick says he couldn't make any moves due to damage. I didn't know you had damage, Glowstick. I thought it was a McLaren or an Alpine who had damage because I saw a McLaren end plate go off. So, the strategy's changed then. So, Rapid and Jack. Yeah, I got it right then. I thought I messed up the names. Somebody else in the pit lane, that's Jay Hartnell, who might be serving his drive-through penalty due to a speed on a safety car. No, a 5-second time penalty due to speeding in the pit lane. Quite a wise tactic to get rid of that during a safety car, but obviously not ideal because you lose positions, of course. But he's going on the hard compound tyres, you know. And Daniel says, "Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. I dare not ask him if I will get shouted at if I distract him." Yeah, I don't like to be distracted either when I'm racing. Nobody does. Full of concentration. So Jay Hart now comes out on the hard compound tyres. So theoretically, the likes of Glowstick, Rapid and Jack go to the end on this hard compound tyre. But the guys who stay out there will be coming at them later on in the Grand Prix. That's if another safety car comes out as well. So Rapid and Jack, interesting strategy call for them. Those tyres, I think, can go towards the end, but obviously those guys who have stayed out there will have much better tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix and therefore be catching up to them at a rate of knots as well. So that's what those two are going to consider as well in this Grand Prix. I thought Glowstick would have done a medium, soft medium. depending what he's gone for. Maybe he's gone for a softer strategy, like, for example, before you load into qualifying, you have the option to go softer, harder, balanced. So softer, you get 4 sets of softs, 1 set of meds and 1 set of hards. Balanced, you get 3 sets of softs, 2 sets of meds and 1 set of hards. Harder, you have 2 sets of softs, 2 sets of hards and 2 sets of meds. I think I don't think I chose the harder strategy for a long time. Nobody really goes for the harder strategy unless it's Singapore or Abu Dhabi. That was in the older games though, that we used to do. Now it's just mainly balanced. Or I remember back in 2021 or 2020 when people went softer on Austria and tracks like that, where tyre wear was good. But the safety car comes in at the end of this lap, so DC will take them away. Then our new race leader, followed by Mark Wilson. Mark Wilson seems to get a good restart. Can he challenge DC going down into turn 1? You can see the straight line speed. He's deployed EOS. He pulls to the right hand side and he will take the lead. This is a great shot. Let's have a watch as we head down into turn 1. Mark Wilson lays the brakes, a bit of contact, but that's rubbing and racing. That's all part of the game. But DC trying to stick it down the inside. Mark Wilson gets a decent exit. The Red Bull has gone off the track. There's my contact in the background too. But DC's not done yet. Can he get Mark Wilson going down into the second chicane? Mark Wilson goes to the left hand side to defend, and that's a great defensive move as well, because you can't go around the outside unless you're fully alongside. And Mark Wilson then takes the lead of the Grand Prix with an outstanding move. And now King Panda takes advantage of Tobes as he had a bad exit out of the second chicane, but not close enough. Now gets a decent exit at the first Lesmo, but King Panda wisely backs out of it in the second Lesmo. I think that was KXI who was the one that had back traction going out of turn 2. What was the one that went off the track, and now Panda's all over the back of Tobes. But you don't want to go for moves in a Scari. It's difficult enough for Scari by yourself, but there's yellow flags down there because they're dragging on speed out of the second Lesmo, I think. And I'll see Crack and Rapid are fighting, of course. Jack is on Nacho, and this is really important to get past these guys too on all the tyres, but there's so much movement in the field there. I don't know who to watch. Jack goes down the inside in the Pulsman corner. They go. They're on fresher tyres. They're making a move, looking to get back at the front of the field, with ILT Crack following 2 Rapid in P9 now. DC takes the lead of the Grand Prix ahead on Mark Wilson. DRS will be enabled shortly in this Grand Prix as we head down into turn number 1 we go. King Panda looking for another move on Tobes. Be very careful, you know, because it's not the first time he's tapped a car into turn 1, which was Stevan, unfortunately, who fell victim. But he's in P12 now on a brand new set of mediums. Let's see what he could do. Glowstick and Crack are fighting along with Rapid too. Rapid's lost a position towards Stevan, who's on those medium compound tyres. It's not looking good for Rapid so far. He's lost Jack, who's up to P6 on the hard compound tyres as we head down into the second chicane. Look at Glowstick taking advantage as well. Stevan takes advantage too, but somebody in the background has got off the track. That was Jay Hartnell in the Alfa Romeo. He's out of the race again in the same place as Mazzles, and another safety car has been triggered too. Dear me, so 2 safety cars in 7 laps then. I think this is a great time to pit for the medium runners now. Lap 7, they could go on the hard compound tyres. I think they could take it towards the end. But I'm really sceptical about my tyres, you know, because I tried a race around Monza. I think a safety car came out this time. I was in the mediums. I went from the hards, and I don't think I could make them last. My tyre durability, my tyre, well, saving tyres is not really in my suit, unfortunately for me. I'm not really good at saving tyres, so these guys might be better saving tyres than me. But for me, I can't make them go towards the end. DC has stayed out. So has Mark Wilson as well. Toes picked up a 5-second time penalty. How are you doing this under the safety car? Jay Hartnell did it, and now Toes did it, picking drives with penalties up during a safety car. Or 5-second time penalty. So they're going on the hard compound tyres, I think, maybe medium, but we're seeing high chance of a safety car come out here already. Rapid's pitted again. He's on the medium compound tyres. No, he's changed his wing, that's why he's pitted. So this race for Rapid, unfortunately, has cost him a lot. Pitting, sacrificing track position, and unfortunately been involved in contact with the midfield. That's been unfortunately detrimental to his race, falling down as P13. But it's been great because Jack is up into P3 now. So from P12 or P11 to P3 in about 4 or 5 laps has really helped him as well on those hard compound tyres. And Glowstick says, friggin' hell, that was scary. Crack, Dragon and Jack 3 wide into turn 1. Dragon got sandwiched, almost got collected by Dragon. Are you talking about recently, or are you talking about lap 1? I think it's recently as well, to be honest. Well, you survived at glow stick. You're currently in P5. Yeah, that's a great position, P5. You pitted during the first safety car to go to the hard compound tyres. That's really helped you, that first safety car, because those softs, in my opinion, were going to be dead after 6 or 7 laps. So that safety car's worked to your advantage. You're on P5. You could theoretically take them towards the end, but tyre life will be absolutely bad towards the end of the Grand Prix as well. Those will be fading away. Safety car restart down in turn 1. Yeah, I didn't really see it, maybe, unfortunately, because well, there's a lot of things going on in turn 1. I was watching Mark Wilson versus DC into turn 1, but I would love to see it. What's happened to Nacho? Is he spun or something? Letting Punishment go. So now it's during the second safety car. Let's see who's benefited in this race. Well, there's going to be about 17 laps to go after the safety car. Softs could do 11 easy. Yeah, they can, but oh, what's happened to Mark Wilson? Please don't tell me he's got involved in contact. Come on, guys, it's a safety car. Let's behave ourselves. Single file, please. That's what I say to cyclists every time I drive past them, going wheel to wheel, side by side on a main road. No, I'm kidding. I'm a cyclist myself, so I'm only joking about that one. So Tobes is pitted for penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's a 5-second time penalty. So if he does pit again, he'll have to serve it. But he can take them tyres towards the end if he wants to. Yeah, 11 laps of those soft compound tyres is not great at all. Trust me. I think the soft compound tyres, their best ends around 7 or 8 laps, and after that you just sliding all over the place on the track with those soft compound tyres. So DC and Mark Wilson have stayed out there on their starting tyres. They started at the beginning of the Grand Prix, so they're doing their normal strategies, going from mediums to hards later on, or maybe mediums to softs. You never know, because those 2 safety cars have really helped to extend their tyre life, but we'll see if it pays any dividends later on in the Grand Prix. That's if another safety car comes out though, because they'll be falling way behind, not doing a pit stop where the rest of them have. And Punishment too down in P7. Did he pit that one? Punishment. Yeah, he did. So he might have to do another pit stop because those mediums can't go towards the end of the Grand Prix. I think he's already done hard medium. Maybe he can go on another set of medium compound tyres if he wants to. But the safety car is coming towards the end of this lap, and DC will take them away for the second time in a row. DC leads the safety car, well, takes them away, but this time Jack is putting pressure on Mark Wilson. It was Mark Wilson putting pressure on DC in the first safety car restart, but it looks like he's covered it. Will he go for an overtake in turn 1? Is he close enough? No, he's not on this occasion, so he'll have to bail out of this one, going down into turn 1. But he knows that Jack is on a much fresher set of tyres. It's the hard compound tyres versus older medium compound tyres. So you can see Jack all over the back of him. He's very careful for Jack. All this progress made, you can see really closing the inside line is Mark Wilson, just giving enough space as we head down into turn 4. Who's going to bail out of this one? Let's have a look. Jack's willing to commit to the outside, which converts to the inside, and contact is made inevitably. And ILT Crack has to take avoided action. Glow stick, will he try and capitalise on that? No, he won't. I can see that coming, you know, because if you go side by side and call out that, it will never end well. One of you has to bail at least. It's such a tight corner. The nature of the corner, someone's bound to make contact going into there, but it's cost Mark Wilson because it's 1 second outside of DRS. I think it's just a race incident. I don't think it's nobody's fault. It's just one of those things, isn't it, really? But Crack might get a warning due to that because he cut Ascari. He's all over the back of Punishment as we head out Ascari. Great overtaking opportunity. Pulls alongside, puts himself up into P5. King Panda has got ahead of Nacho, puts himself up into P8 on those fresher set of hards. I like this, you know, because we've got old tyres versus new tyres. Always, as Glowstick needs to find a way to stay on the track. It's always interesting and spicy when things turn out like this. As Rapid is up into P11, can he make a comeback drive after having to make another pit stop with a broken front wing? As we head down into turn 1 once again, another heavy braking zone. It's very easy to misjudge a braking zone on this. As Jack looking ways to find. Almost lost it. Now Glowstick, will he take advantage as he pulls the left hand side, using the ERS to deploy more power? As you can see, both have got the slipstream on Mark Wilson ahead of him. But Jack then just stays ahead of the Scotsman for the time being. Or will he make it into an overtaking move? And no, he won't. Stays behind for the time being. Further behind, I can see that King Panda has got punishment, and he puts himself up into P7 in the RP. Further back, somebody went side by side, going into that second chicane, and was that juggler speed a Nacho? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, you can see Mark Wilson is under massive pressure from Jack behind him. He's actually stayed ahead of him despite being on older tyres. And now, as we head down into Ascari, will Jack try and think about an overtaking move going down there? No, he won't. Stay behind for the time being, but be really careful, you know, because people on older tyres will be carrying much less speed than you going into high-speed corners. So you can really be careful and adapt to situations into like that. Trust me, I've been there myself when I've been stuck behind people on older tyres. It's so easy to carry the speed you think you could do, but at the same time, you've got to be really careful, guys ahead of you, carrying slower speed into corners. And now Glowstick tried to take advantage in a really great place in P4, but I think Jack's in a great position to overtake Mark Wilson. Yeah, he is. There he goes, there, past him, up into P2 he goes, and that took longer for him as Mark Wilson there. I thought it was on in the brakes, but that was Jack later the brakes. We see the Ferrari and Mercedes go side by side into turn 1. But Glowstick's got past Mark Wilson. He's up into P3, so Mark Wilson, did he get a bad exit out of turn 2? Or was Glowstick's tyres better and therefore get a better traction and puts himself up into P3 there? As we head down the second chicane, Mark Wilson looks like he's struggling now, missing the corner slightly. His teammate right behind him takes advantage. Great move. Puts himself up into P4 ahead of his teammate. Yeah, Mark Wilson starts struggling now on those older medium compound tyres with guys on fresher tyres. Hang in there, Mark Wilson. I know it's a tough stage of the Grand Prix, but at the same time, you'll be on better tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix, where these guys might be struggling. Yeah, Mercs are doing a great job so far. Glowstick is right behind Jack for P2. His Tobes really does struggle coming out of Ascari. Now Rapid is alongside him too as they go wheel to wheel, but you can see he's quite low in the ERS. Tobes is using the ERS just to stay ahead of Rapid as we head down into the final corner we go. And let's see if Rapid can set up a move on turn 1. Mark Wilson, is he pitting? Yes, he is then. So into the pit lane he goes from mediums to hards. Here's normal strategy. And now Glowstick has overtaken Jack. He puts himself up into P2. And Glowstick's in a great chance, in a great place to win this race. We know DC's got to pit because he hasn't pitted yet. And oh, there's contact into turn 1. That's King Panda. It looks like he was out of shape. Did he make contact there with his own teammate? Because Rapid was fighting with Tobes. And Panda was out of shape into turn 1. Looks like he made contact with his own teammate. And now, you can see Stevan putting pressure on KXI as we head down into the second chicane we go. KXI very early in the brakes there. Looks like he didn't want the smoke. And he's down into P9. Just being very careful there is KXI in P9. But this is looking good, I think, for Glowstick in P2. Will the Mercs work together? Will they fight it out here in Monza? Will DC allow his teammate to go through? No, he's on better tyres and DC has to pit soon. Or what about DC? Will he pit and try and respond to the undercut threat from Mark Wilson down to P13? Oh, ILT Crack once again struggling there in Ascari. The back end of the car cannot live with it, unfortunately. He might be close to a penalty, you know, so you'd be really careful not to do that. He just needs to be a bit more, well, careful on the throttle, I dare say. McConey says yes, they'll work together, but how do you know? Are you in a party with them? Let's see then. Glowstick will make a move. I don't think DC will make it too hard for his teammate, knowing he's on better tyres. Yeah, so Glowstick puts himself up into P1. These two haven't won a race yet this season. Glowstick outbreaks himself and misses the corner, but nevertheless he makes it the corner in P1 ahead of his own teammate. This is a great opportunity for Glowstick to win this Grand Prix. Well, I think he was close to winning in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, I think, last season, as Rapid is right behind Tobes. Let's have a look to see what happens. Rapid hasn't got past Tobes just yet. Has been stuck behind him for the past 2 or 3 laps now. But he looks like he's on the charge, and where can he overtake him? And they're on the same tyres, of course, well, same age, but one's on the meds and one's on the hards. So Rapid should be much quicker than Tobes at this stage of the Grand Prix. Will Rapid make another pit stop? Can these be that goes towards the other Grand Prix? We've got 13 more laps to go. I think they can go towards the end, but obviously they'll be quite dead towards the end of the Grand Prix. You can see DC there under pressure from Jack right behind him too. And Jack ended up behind Glowstick, did he? Yeah, he did, so I wonder how that happened. And Jack now has moved himself up into P2. I think when Jack and Mark also were fighting, yeah, the reason why Glowstick's in the lead is because he took advantage of Jack when he made contact with Mark Wilson going to the second chicane, and therefore Glowstick was able to sneak through and take the lead of the race. So Jack is into P2 on the same set of tyres of Glowstick, same age, same tyre. This is a straight fight to those two towards the end of the Grand Prix. Oh, he's outbroke himself into turn 1, so he won't be doing that. He won't be winning the Grand Prix if he keeps doing that. And now, oh no, he spun! And luckily has not hit the wall, so it was working well for Jack. But unfortunately, ever since I said that, commentator's curse, and he's felt the commentator's curse tonight. Both RP to scrapping away for P4 and P5, and this has turned out to be a great race so far with multiple strategies going on throughout the midfield. I think Glowstick may be on the best strategy, you know, because how is DC going to gain about over 20 seconds once he makes his pit stop? He won't. It's impossible unless the safety car comes out, unless Glowstick tyres drop off towards the end of the Grand Prix. But no, Crack might have to pit again. Rapid don't have to pit again. I think his tyres can go towards the end, but it'll be a bit iffy towards the end of the Grand Prix. Panda and Co can go towards the end. Oh, the Alpine there of Rapid had almost lost it out of Ascari, and now his teammate goes past 2 and puts himself up into P4. So the top 2 are Rapid and Jack. Yeah, Rapid and Jack. I got confused because I was thinking of Crack, but it's Rapid and Jack this time. Here we are. It looks like DC's able to stick in Glowstick's DRS range, and he puts himself back into the lead of the Grand Prix. KXI is under pressure from Stevan right behind him, and I thought with the amount of speed they carried, I thought Stevan will go straight to the back of Tobes. That really scared me, that did. I know it's a game, but if it was real life, oof. And now King Panda looking on course to score a podium too. Look at this, the top 3 within 5/10 of each other. They're so close. As Crack looks to try and find a way past Glowstick, but can't quite do so. Does Crack have to pit again? Can he do 23 laps on a set of meds? That'd be quite challenging, you know. I don't think he can. Oh, Glowstick spun! Oh, that's a big shot for Glowstick to win this Grand Prix, and unfortunately he has spun his way out of winning this Grand Prix. And now King Panda's up into P2. Tobes tries to get past Crack 2 as we head down into Ascari, but not a place you want to fight, as Rapid takes advantage of Tobes. A constitutive effect of what happened to Glowstick has unfortunately cost Tobes, as he had to take avoiding action from the spinning Mercedes. As we head down now into Ascari. Parabolica, sorry, I don't know why I get... I've never ever got Ascari and Parabolica confused before, but for some reason I am. This is get very tasty down into turn 1 with all these drivers on DRS and carrying a lot of speed on each other. We'll see what happens going down into turn 1. Rapid on the back of Crack. These two have had great fights in the past as well. Saudi Arabia, Mexico as well. They've always had a great fight here in Cone, but Rapid almost lost it out of turn 2. Stevan looking to go side by side with KXI's DC. He's on the soft compound tyres. Those can go towards the end of the Grand Prix, but can he make up that deficit? That's the big question. A safety car would have been doable for him, but I think that's a bit too much to ask, I dare say, to try and catch up towards those guys. Yeah, 22 seconds. I got that right, you know, 22 seconds. I didn't even know the pit stops, the pit loss, sorry, around this track. That was just a random guess, 22 seconds. But with 10 laps to go, how many positions can DC gain? That's the big question. I don't think he'll be close, but look at this, started to Ascari. And that's Crack making an audacious move on King Panda. He takes the lead of the Grand Prix. And now, can he pull away from those two? But bearing in mind, though, he's on the older medium compound tyres. So he should swing back towards King Panda and Rapid's way. Both Alpine scrapping out for P2. I think King Panda... in a great play. Oh, Red Bull spun. That's KXI who was spun going out of Parabolica, and a safety car's been deployed. Oh, do you know what? I feel so bad for DC, you know. Man just pitted, and now safety cars came out. Stevan and Rapid are in the pit lane, quick to respond. I think the guys who stayed out should be okay. They shouldn't have called up the safety car that quick. This is a good opportunity for Crack to get in the pit lane and put on a set of softs, because without the safety car, I dare say we'll be vulnerable towards the end of the Grand Prix with those tyres constantly degrading. He should be able to pit and get off those medium compound tyres. It's a no-brainer. He should do it. I won't be surprised if he stays out. I expect those guys behind to pit. Everybody should be on a brand new set of either softs or mediums, depending if you've got a brand new set of softs in your disposal. But I really do feel sorry for DC currently down in P7. Well, the other side is, on the other hand, DC will have to make up that deficit he lost in the pit lane by 22 seconds, so he'd be right with them. You never know, anything could happen towards the end of the Grand Prix, at the end of this race, with all these guys scrapping out for P1. We've had different leaders in this Grand Prix. We've had Mark Wilson, we've had Jack, we've had Glowstick, we've had DC, we've had Rapid. Now we've got Crack and Panda, who've led the Grand Prix too. Multiple different leaders in this Grand Prix. But towards this stage of the Grand Prix, I can't wait to see how things turn out between everybody else. Everybody back together on a brand new set of softs. It'll be a sprint race towards the end of the Grand Prix. Things could get messy indeed. It's been a great race so far, but as you expect, these guys in the pit lane. The flip side for that is both Alpines don't have to double stack, so they won't have to lose too much time. So that's quite a good strategic call from King Panda to stay out, to make sure he doesn't do the double stack to lose any more time. Panda's on the brand new set of mediums, very interestingly, but I don't think he has any more softs in his disposal. That's one thing I do fear, you know, towards the end of a Grand Prix, is a safety car coming out, because I'm one of those drivers who likes to use all my tyres in qualifying, all my set of softs. And I've been caught out so many times when the safety cars came out. Why is Crago still out there? I've seen this scenario before. He's going to drop down like a stone. That's what happened to Punishment at the first GP, I think. Every time someone stayed out, they've always gone down the field. So I dare say Crago will be a massive obstacle in the way for these guys to get past. I don't know why he's still out there. He's going to drop down a stone dramatically. Hope he lasts towards like 2 or 3 laps. Yeah, Crack, I know you crashed out of qualifying, mate. I saw it. I was on board with you when you crashed out. We all know Crack's got a brand new set of softs at his disposal because he crashed out of qualifying, but yeah, for the reason I think Panda's on the mediums, A, he thinks the softs will die towards the end, or maybe he hasn't got a set of softs in his own, in his allocation. I hate it when safety cars come out towards the end of the Grand Prix because you know everybody's going to be on the soft compound tyres, whereas people like me who likes to use all the tyres in qualifying. I've been caught out so many times during a safety car towards the end of the Grand Prix. Abu Dhabi, Monza, Austria, you name it, I've always have had bad luck when the safety car comes out towards the end. This isn't going to end well, never does when someone stays out. But we'll see. We've seen people in the past where... Oh, Crago's pitting. Yeah, I was wondering why I was going side by side, but that's 2 laps late. He gets a 5-second time penalty too. So Crago had 2 laps to pit, but he didn't. And now he chooses to pit, so he's going to fall towards the back end of the field. I don't know why he chose it so late though, because he had those 2 laps to decide. Now he decides, because the first 2 laps, they weren't caught with the safety car. But now he pits, and he rejoins down into 11th place. Jack, however, in P12, one of the favourites to win this Grand Prix, unfortunately, down in P12. Now 13 as Nacho flies past, and Mark Wilson also into the pit lane. It's a shame what happened to those guys, but 2-3 safety cars could change a whole trajectory of this race. You don't know what the script's going to be, you don't know what the story's going to be until the end of the Grand Prix. Loads of twists and turns throughout the story. I said a few laps ago, Crack will be struggling towards the end, but this is great news for Crack. Starts at P12, up into P1. Safety cars can make or break people's races. It depends where you are, what tyres you're on, and pitted at the right time too. You can't predict when a safety car comes out. Obviously, you know possibilities of safety cars coming out, but at the same time, you don't know what lap they're going to be deployed either. You don't know what tyres you're going to be on towards the end either. So it's all a guessing game, really. You've got to play your cards right when a safety car comes out. You better hope that it benefits you and goes your way. Because for DC, well, he's only in P5, so he's not too far away from a podium or win, but it's cost him a lot of time. And obviously, he had to do those laps under, not behind a safety car either. He had to do those laps under racing pace, so his softs will be a bit older than others, whereas other people's tyres will be younger, being under a safety car. I know so many times when people have won a Grand Prix because of safety cars or lost a Grand Prix because of one. You really can't help it either. I'm watching my own stream and I think I'm a bit behind because I'm on the bit where KXI spawn and caused safety car lap 17. So on my stream I'm 4 laps behind. Oh yeah, I know why, because I went back to lap 1 to watch that crash. That's why I'm behind. But I say I can't be that behind surely. But this is gonna be a fascinating race towards the end of the Grand Prix. And Craig goes to the pit lane again. What tyres are you go on to? Let's have a look, shall we? On a brand new set of softs or old softs. Maybe a change of full wing. Or maybe just to get the youngest softs out of all of them. I think I see Crack winning this Grand Prix. I don't know why. He best make sure he don't make any mistakes, especially Ascari, because Ascari has been his kryptonite in racing this track. It really has cost him Ascari, but I know he may be picked up a 1 or 2 because I've seen him struggle through Ascari and cut the corners. So you can watch out. You can really watch out for Ascari. You can be really patient too. He's in the lead of the Grand Prix. He knows he's got a big shot with this Grand Prix. He knows King Panda's on the medium compound tyres. What will both Alpine do? Will Rapid try and get past King Panda as quickly as he can so he can try and stay behind Crack and fight him for the race lead of the Grand Prix? And the safety cars came in towards the end of this Grand Prix then, so all 14 drivers will be going for the race win if they can. Let's have a look to see who comes out on top of it. Let me take a glass of water before I commentate the last 5 laps of this Grand Prix. DRS will be enabled to, and this should be a fascinating, thrilling end to a race with Crack leading the safety car. Last time Crack led on the safety car, I think, was the USA Grand Prix, and that cost him a 10-second time. But so here we go, racing once again, and let's see. He's going to be exposed down the straight because look at that. King Panda's right behind him. He can't move twice, I think. Weave once, weave twice. And he's going to stay where he is right now, otherwise he might pick up a penalty due to weaving. Rapid is overtaking his teammate. That's crucial for him, not to get stuck behind his own teammate on older tyres. I say older, but here we are, going down into turn 2. You can see Glowstick versus Tobes, as Glowstick's put on the curb there, so not able to pick up the throttle as quickly as he wants. With Dragon on speed, really has struggled this race, but he finds himself inside the top 10. Just Dragon on speed as we head down the second chicane then. Will he go for an overtake or will he stay behind? Was looking to go for it, but I think he was trying to put Glowstick under big pressure, try and force him to an error going down the second chicane. But so far it looks very clean. And let's have a look at the gap to leader, shall we, if I can try and get it up. There we go. I've been commentating for so many years and I still don't know these controls, as you can see on the right hand side of the screen. We haven't looked at lost gained or lost positions, have we? So Crack's gained 11, Rapid's lost 1, King Panda's gained 5. And the clouds are gathering in too, so I don't think rain is on its way. I think it's a bit too late for rain. Who knows, maybe, but you can see the background, you can see the AlphaTauri going side by side with the Red Bull. As KXI's lost 2 positions, now Jack is up into P9. And Dragon of Speed is overtaking Glowstick, so we've got some movement going on in the midfield here. I'm purposely not trying to go... Oh, Jack's spun, by the way. Oh, so is Punishment spun as well, so I think they made contact going down his Parabolica. Not a place for to go side by side. And those two suffered the consequences of that. But this could be a thrilling race towards the end of the Grand Prix, with Crack in P1, Rapid in P2, King Panda in P3, as Jack unfortunately has retired out of the Grand Prix. His race ended when he spun out of turn 2, unfortunately. I think he was a bit impatient going down into turn 1 and turn 2, and that's what cost him today. It's not like he went side by side with anybody, he just lost it by himself. Plainly outbroke himself. But here we are then with Crack under big pressure from Rapid behind. Rapid, second place in the championship. No, it is Crack who's second place in the championship, ahead of Rapid. With Indian Jesus not racing, these two know they can gain a massive haul of points and try and get ahead of each other in the championship. Crack and Rapid will either be the championship leader towards the end of this Grand Prix, if it stays like this, of course. But Indian Jesus will be his toes in the next race, knowing he's lost a whole lot of points, and we'll have a brand new championship leader as well. Rapid right behind Crack. He's had the pace through the whole race, but when that first safety car came out, it really did cost him because he got damage on the first safety car restart. He and Jack pitted on the first safety car It worked out for Jack, but it didn't work out for Rapid, as he found himself in a lot of carnage in the midfield. As we head down into turn 1, oh, bit of contact there between Rapid and Crack, but luckily just escaped from spinning. I think DRS is enabled on this lap, so it should be more interesting. It all depends who's got most ERS in their disposal, which is Crack so far. As we head down the second chicane, who is going to be the winner? All 3 drivers in the top 3 have won a Grand Prix. But who is going to win here tonight in Monza? Crack representing McLaren. McLaren's last race win was back in Monza 2021 with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris finishing first and second. DRS is enabled then, so Crack will be under so much pressure. I think Rapid might wait later on lap 26 or 7 to overtake his rival. But every time Crack goes into Ascari, I really do close my eyes because he really does struggle going to Ascari. But hopefully, he sorts himself out. But look at the track; it's lighting up as Tobes has overtaken Stevan, or has he? He's around the outside, or tries to go around the outside of the Ferrari drivers, go wheel to wheel coming out of Parabolica. Not really a sight you see really going wheel to wheel in Parabolica. But it does look like it started to rain as well, or just about started to rain. Maybe rain in the last lap of the Grand Prix. There's no drops of rain on the screen, but the track does look a bit wet. I don't know why. Or I must say damp. Lap 25 out of 27. Crack will be under huge pressure towards the end of this Grand Prix. I think Rapid will be waiting it out towards the last few laps of the Grand Prix to overtake Crack with DRS. Very careful these two men not to make any mistakes whatsoever. Like that one, of course. Crack just saved the car going into first Lesmo. But I fear every time he goes with Ascari, because you saw it in qualifying where he really rode those curbs. I really hope he's learnt his lesson and rectified his mistakes as well, and not to do the same thing going into Ascari. As we head down there now, just be very careful on the throttle going into Ascari, not light up the rear ends. Oh, talk about going into Ascari like that. That is a Ferrari of Tobes who has spun going out there, and he's had to hit the wall unfortunately, and he's beached too. I think a reset to track is necessary. You're allowed to reset to track if you are beached, and that's clear evidence that he's beached as well, so I think he'll get away with that. KXI, but I want to watch out for the top 2, just in case Rapid decides to overtake. But look at King Panda gaining 2. Will they go 3 abreast? Into turn 1 we go. The RP pulls to the left hand side. King Panda makes contact with his teammate as they go wheel to wheel into turn 1 and turn 2. Crack around the outside in the gravel, of course. Crack gets a 3-second time penalty. King Panda might take both of them on. Whoa, what's going on here? And they both make contact in the wheel. Oh, he's crashed, and they both spun. Our 2 championship contenders have both hit each other, and now King Panda is taking the lead of the Grand Prix. You know what? I get complimented every time I do camera work. Like I'm the race director for the cameras, but that was really shocking camera work for me. So I really do apologise. I'm going to beat myself up over that because that was really terrible camera work. Usually I always get the good shots, but for some reason I just didn't. I think I got a bit too excited there. It was because they went 3 abreast, so it just showed me towards glow stick instead of the people I wanted to see. And KXI has overtaken Dragnon Speed. He goes up into P5, but Dragnon Speed spun twice this race, and he's in P6 still. He's got a bit of wind damage as the Ferrari driver, so watch out for those 2 behind him. Rapid is still in this race, by the way. He's in P7, whereas Crack's fallen down to P12. Do you know what? I think Indian Jesus, judging by my math skills, will be still in the championship lead if he finishes like this. I think Rapid will be closer towards Crack, but I don't think Crack will take the championship lead if it stays like this. So I think here we are. This is a battle for the podium. Let's not forget about that Stevens in P2, and he got spun out of turn 1. Remember that. And DC's all over the back of Stevan. Glowstick has got a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, that's very important, Danielle, for Mark Wilson to get some points. I wanted to say something about Mark Wilson because I know he's retired a lot in the pit lane this season, but I was really nervous that he retired in the pit lane after it went wrong for him during the safety car. So I'm really what about DC champ? Oh yeah, DC, sorry, I forgot about DC. My apologies, DC. They're so close to the championship. DC's 4th in championship. He's 22 points behind. How many points do you get for a race win in 4th place? It depends where DC finishes. No, he won't get a championship lead. Will he? I don't know. My math skills are really bad. Do you know what? I'll think about it later on because I can't do two things at once. I'm not a multitasker. I'm pretty sure Indian Jesus will be wetting himself over that, seeing his two championship rivals making contact and falling down the order. But Panda, what a scenario for him. As we see DC out of Parabolica then. This should be an easy overtake down the inside. Oh, it's the last lap of the Grand Prix! Oh, Panda's won ahead of Stevan, DC in P3, KXI in P4, Glowstick in P5, Rapid in P6, Traveler Speed in P7 ahead of Mark Wilson, Nacho in P9 ahead of Craigo, Tobes in P11 unfortunately ahead of Crack, who hasn't got a wig at all, Polishburn in P13. But my bad, King Panda, it was the last lap of the Grand Prix and I forgot. Stevan, what a comeback drive to P2. I bet he wasn't expecting that after contact into turn 1 when he got wiped out. DC, great drive to P3 ahead of KXI. But what a thrilling race. Really enjoyed this as well. I do apologise for the bad camera work there. So let's have a look at the championship standings. So DC finished in P3, get 20 points for P3, and he's 22 points behind. So what does that mean? He's 2 points behind Indian Juice in the championship standings. Do you know what? Let's do some maths, shall we? This could go terribly wrong. So King Panda's finished in first place. He won't get the championship lead, of course, because he's too far behind. Rapid finishes in P6. You get 12 points for P6. Or 13 because he got the fastest lap. So will he take the championship lead? No, he won't. So Rapid won't take the championship lead. What about Crack? Finished in P13. You don't get any points for P13. No. So Indian Jesus is actually still the championship leader. I thought Crack or Rapid, anybody else would be the championship leader, but it's still Indian Jesus. Indian Jesus looking over this race thinking I'm going to lose the championship leader. But no. He's not. I really enjoyed this race. Put on a great show as well. Better contact too, but that's racing as well. Great job for Mark Wilson today, P8. Great pace as well, fighting for the lead of the Grand Prix. That first safety car didn't help, I don't think. I was really worried when he got compromised by those safety cars. He would retire in the pit lane because he's done that quite a lot this season, retiring in the pit lane. And I was really nervous he'd do it again. But thanks for staying in this race, Mark Wilson. P8, you just got to wait it out, mate. You just got to stay in the race and see what happens. And points are awarded for the driver in P8. Danielle will be very impressed with his performance. So many points in this race. So many points in this race in terms of things changing due to safety cars. A lot of people were disadvantaged, then when the second safety car came out, they were advantaged, then disadvantaged again during the third safety car. That's what happens when multiple safety cars come out, because someone could be in a really great place when the first safety car comes out, then the second one comes out, they're back to last place, or down the field, or different tyres when everybody else is on brand new tyres. But I will do podium interviews tonight. Let's see what the drivers have to say for themselves. And Steve, I will be one happy Dutchman. His face would have been red during that spin in turn 1. But I'll be very happy tonight, wouldn't he, in P2. Who won the Grand Prix? Yeah, Panda, that was a really bad thing to say. Sorry, Panda. And P3 was DC, so let's get them in the podium interview. DC. So all in, and I'll start from P3 upwards. If P3 is here, which is not so far. We'll wait 1 or 2 minutes before before DC comes in. I'm going to rewatch some of the race to see what happened, because a lot of things went down in that race too. You know what? We'll start with Stevan in P2. So Stevan, red-faced into turn 1. You must have been very angry going down into turn 1, but things played out in the end. So what point in the race changed for you after that spin into turn 1?
Not really sure. Well, the spin wasn't ideal, of course. I'm not sure who hit me, but
I
I wasn't
can't.
actually that angry. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Or
I
am
can
I
hear you.
good?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Yeah, I wasn't actually that angry. It just happened, and just focused on getting the car turned around and getting the just going up the place again. And yeah, I was really happy with the safety car because quite a lot of people pitted and some stayed out, which really turned around my race. Um, yeah, that really turned around my race and just stayed patient. Then the second safety car happened after my teammate unfortunately crashed. He was in a really good position because he would have gone to the end on the hards. Was I had to probably pit again for for another mediums or softs. But I was still in a really good position. I know it was going to be chaos with the amount of safety cars and battling I saw. So I just kept clean. I did hit Panda in turn one, but just let him go straight afterwards because that wasn't really fair by me. And I was battling quite hard with KXI, and then I was just following him, saving ERS, following the hard runners. Even though my pace wasn't great, I still managed to just be patient, fight hard. Even though I do have quite a lot of penalty points, still fight quite hard and but fair as well. So I'm happy with that performance after a very disappointing outing in Portimao.
Yeah, really great job as well finishing in P2 because that was a roller coaster race with a lot of things changed in the race as well, and the script being changed, the whole trajectory of that race being changed due to safety cars. And I think you pitted at the right time in every single safety car as well, and you slowly but surely made your way through up the field. And that, what was your reaction when those two ahead of you crashed? Because ultimately that got you the podium.
I mean, I didn't know what happened, but I was like, "Oh my God!" And I was just so busy on DC, behind me, and I was just watching him all the time. I thought he was going to overtake me because I couldn't see his light flashing, of course. So I was just mainly focused on him. And then the second I looked ahead, I saw McLaren and Alpine around, which is just comedy, to say the least. So. Yeah, I took full advantage of that. It's about time that others crashed and I take advantage of that. So, yeah, really happy with this.
Yeah, great pace considering that's spin down into turn one as well. So does this great pace and also the race result improve your confidence for the next few races as well? Because I know you've always had it, but you really have struggled in getting involved in contact as well. Hence the penalty points you were talking about. Does this help you further on in the races yet to come?
Yeah, let's hope so. It's been very difficult in Cone last season as well, where I just didn't get good results. Completely different to LOE, where I've been getting podiums, race wins, and been quite quick. But in Cone, it just never seemed to work out due to my own mistakes. And I've been very harsh on myself on that. I can't drive the way I have with squeezing people into the wall and yeah. I think this race showed that I can drive clean and have some decent pace. So if I put in some effort, and who knows where I end up at the end of the season.
Yeah, hopefully get it all sorted out as well. Same with me as well with the struggling race pace because due to unluckiness and knowing the track and the car itself, the combination of those two really does help get those great race results. And hopefully you continue this performance as well going up to the next few races. I did have a look at the calendar and I've already forgotten what the next race of the season is as well. So I need to have a look at that. I think it's Singapore. I think NDG said that 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it is Singapore. So how do you feel for the Singapore Grand Prix next week?
I mean, it's a completely different track, not a lot of grip. I've seen plenty of league races there, and the grip is so low, so I need to put in some effort. It will be chaotic since it is the longest race on the calendar, 31 laps around, and it's about 1:30 lap time. Um, and it is quite tough, to say the least. So, yeah, let's see if I can just stay patient throughout the race. Not overdrive it, which I'm used to. Just driving way too hard. I was quite a lot on the limit. I lost the car quite a lot during the race, but I managed to stay composed. That's something I really developed over last season in LOE and now this season as well, where I'm just not driving on the limit all the time, but just conservative, taking advantage of others' mistakes, and yeah. So if I put some effort for Singapore, you never know what will happen.
Thank you, mate. And great result today, finished in P2. Now we move on to P3. There's the real DC, and DC, mate, I bet you were absolutely gutted when that safety car came out. In fact, would it have been a good idea for the safety car to come out, because when you put on those soft compound tyres, you had a massive gap to close down. But actually, I think it worked in your favour to get that gap down immediately after that safety car. Do you think?
Yeah, it did. I was sort of screwed over by the first two, and just stuck to my guns. Yeah, it was just basically just focusing on pushing, and then I saw it come out, and there was a little bit of weed that come out and excitement, because it meant I was closing everyone. I knew people were going to go onto the soft tyres, so I just needed to get out ahead of as many people as I could, and I got in a good position. So.
You really did struggle at the Portimao Grand Prix. You took pole position, but this race you managed to come back strong as well. And also in this race, with the safety cars coming out, were you expecting a podium after that?
So when the safety car came out and I saw a few people ahead of me, it was just a case of if I had the pace. Turns out I didn't. Again, so I know Stephen said he thought I was going to get ahead of him. No, I didn't have the battery, so I was never going to. So it was a case of just trying to stay where I was, make sure I didn't make contact with anyone, and I was sort of settling for a top 5, and then the incident happened ahead.
So this is your 5th podium of the season as well, and I think you're 2 points behind our championship leader, Indian Jesus. So once again, it's closed up. You were the championship leader at one point with tied points, but you're only 2 points behind now. But 5 podiums this season, but you're still waiting for that race win. Where do you think it could happen? What's your favourite track? And tell us why do you think that is?
What have we got left? Let me quickly throw the calendar up. I know we've got Bahrain left, but I think that's the last race of the season, isn't it? And I know that a couple of seasons ago when I was battling Nelu Safu for the Tier 2 title, I didn't win a single race until Bahrain, so I'm thinking, will history repeat itself? But it's my favourite track on the game, so maybe there, but I can't, with the pace of everyone here, I can't see myself. Unless something drastic happens.
Surprised by that, Bahrain being your favourite. I've not heard many people say that before, but everyone's got a different taste. And Bahrain is the last race of the season. Next race is in Singapore. How do you feel about
that? Yeah, not excited. I don't like street tracks, so it's just a case of keeping it out of the wall and keeping myself in the championship next race, because I don't think I'll be anywhere near the top unless something drastic happens.
Yeah, you got 4 races left of the season. You said Bahrain's your favourite one, so 3 races to try and close that deficit. One of them for sure, the Bahrain Grand Prix, you might capitalise. But now we're getting closer towards the championship season. Does the pressure start to go for you, or do you try and focus on one race at a time?
Yeah, it's just one race at a time, because I think it was missed the race before Portimao. I expected to be completely out of it by this time, but I think the results sort of went my way last race in terms of where people finished and in what order. So yeah, it's just one race at a time, see where I am after it, and then I know what I've got to do from there.
Congratulations. Well, and also talk about the first stint. You and Mark Walter stayed out, I think, during the second safety car. Do you regret that? Do you think that was the bad move to stay out of the second safety car?
Probably, if the final safety car hadn't come out, but that did also work in my favour, so it's tough. It is a situational thing. If there was nothing else after that, then absolutely it was a stupid decision, because I think I was then like 10 to 15 seconds behind everyone else. But not a massive regret, I don't think, no. Congratulations
on P3, mate. Drove a really good race today. Congrats to fire back towards the podium too. I know 2 people were taken out. What was your reaction too when 2 people got taken out of that race?
Woohoo was my reaction. I saw 2 people facing the other way.
Panda? No, it wasn't Panda.
I don't wish it, but it was Crack and
Rapid,
I believe.
Yeah, it was.
You obviously don't like people crashing out, but sometimes you need a bit of luck on your side. So
yeah, you'll take those points and take those podiums too. So congrats on P3, mate, and good luck for the next race in Singapore. Now we move on to our race leader. So Panda, congratulations, mate! What a fantastic race too. I watched that incident. I don't think that incident had nothing to do with you. You were there on the outside, but I think your teammate and Crack made contact by themselves by hitting each other. So you took advantage of that. Also, you won the Grand Prix. How do you feel, mate? This must be a good race for you because I know you struggled this season. Before France, you really did struggle, but after that, you've just been on form so far. So do we expect to see you in the championship fight? Panda?
Hold on, am I muted now, yeah?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, I was muted, that's why. So with the tracks left, I'm not so sure because I don't really get on with Singapore. Bahrain's another hit and miss track. But the race today, when I went around the outside, I mean, Crack had moved twice down the straight beforehand, the lap before I think it was. And then my teammate was on the inside on the next lap, and then he'd come in front of me, and I broke as soon as he came in front of me, but I tapped him slightly, so I kind of like pushed him into turn one, and then come out of turn two, then I'd slightly touched him again, then gone around the outside. So I don't know if that impacted my teammate or not. I would hope not. I hope in the incident between Crack and Rapid isn't my fault, because it was the slightest of touches, and they kept going for a little bit, and then they went into each other. So I can't say for sure or not, but I hope it's not my fault.
The way I saw it, I think those two just made contact by themselves. I don't think you had nothing to do with it. I think they moved a bit too much right. Whoever was in the middle moved too much. I don't think you were fully alongside them either. So I think you just had your wheel there, but I don't think it was your fault. But during the race, though, I think you're on the right strategy at the right time. But until the third safety car came out, I thought going on the medium compound tyre, I thought you'd be a big disadvantage with others on the softs. Was it playing? Did you think the softs could go towards the end, or you didn't have another set of softs left?
I only had used set of softs, so my theory was used set of softs aren't going to be good to the end. They may not make it to the end, so I had to go with the fresh set. It was the easiest option, to be fair. If it had been new softs or new mediums, then it would have been new softs guaranteed. But because they weren't new, I couldn't run the risk of not having the pace at the start on the mediums. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
On that final stint, when I was behind my teammate in Crack, there was a few times where I gone in out of the Lesmos. I've made a few mistakes, braking really, really deep because I couldn't see the braking zone. Because I was more worried about the cars ahead. So, I mean, I didn't get any warnings, didn't go off track, but still, yeah, I did make quite a few mistakes in the last bit of the race.
You were behind your team majority of the race, but in front of your teammates. So, were you trying to work with each other, like try and get yourself? Well, are you in a party with each other first of all? You mean your teammate?
We're always in a party together, and we always look at it as doesn't matter who finishes ahead, as long as we work together and try and get the best result as we can. That is our main focus. So it doesn't matter if he finishes first or I second. It doesn't make a difference. As long as we finish well and work together as a team, that's our main focus.
Because I know every time Rapid made a mistake, you went in front, then you on the hards, he was the mediums as well. So him being on the faster tyre, you would have thought he would have been ahead. And I think it was the other way around too at one point. Think you on the mediums, or he was on the hards. I can't actually remember to be honest with you, but yeah, I think you two worked really well with each other. And yeah, I think you two are a very strong lineup in Current Racing League in the Alpine. You've got some good results this season, a few podiums, and I think 2 wins now for your sake. But what was your reaction when those two crashed, your teammate and Crack?
I couldn't believe it, to be honest, because I wanted my teammate to be with me, to be honest. I don't want my teammate to drop down the field because he had an incident, do you know what I mean, on like second to last lap. I'll take the win, but it doesn't feel as good because my teammate's not there with me. Because we work hard together to have a good result, and then something like that happens. So it puts a little dampener on the win, to be fair.
Yeah, true. A nice team as well, and it's always good thinking about your teammate as well. Good sportsmanship between you two. And also, I wanted to ask, were you ever nervous about those guys on the soft spot on the last safety car catching up to you?
I was, because obviously you saw it in the first stint where Glowstick was on the softs, and he had so much more pace than me when I was on the mediums. So generally, you just imagine they're going to catch you, try and overtake as quickly as possible. But I mean, we broke away from the start quite well, the three of us, and we used each other to quite good effect.
and you'll catapult yourself up the order to 5th, I think, now ahead of Tobes in the championship. So, do you think, with the pace you've having recently, do you think you can really try and get yourself in the championship fight with the next 4 races left of the season?
I cannot say, because Singapore I don't get on with, Bahrain is a hit and miss track, and the other 2 I don't know what they are, so I can't say I'm going to get into it. I can't say I'll fall down the order. Just see how each race goes, to be honest.
Well, you've done a good job after the French GP when you had COVID. You've really been on form after that as well. So congratulations, keep it up, mate. And once again, congratulations on the win. That was a really good drive to you today. Really great to see you back on the top.
Cheers. Can I say something about that? Since the COVID seems to have reset me completely. It's weird to say that, but I think that break, that week or 2 break I had, has made a difference, to be honest.
Do you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, because in Tier 4, I remember you getting about 1 race win at the start of the season, and you really just couldn't find your feet, because I think Palmer and Bazza had the better of you. So this season is much. This might be Tier 3. This season has been much better for you. Do you think you've had a better season already than the last season you had in Tier 4?
Definitely a better season. I know I didn't start off very well, but I've been more consistent since the French Grand Prix. I've been more consistent. I've been trying to focus on just being consistent, not say winning. If that comes, happy days. But just be more consistent and learn a little bit more on tracks where I struggle quite a lot. Because Monza's normally one that does well for me, but I tend to struggle as well here and there, depending on setup. So try and just be more consistent.
I know you haven't had your teammate as well last season, because your teammate was in the Haas. I can't remember his name, but he got disqualified a lot for the pit lane. Yeah, Verona Flash. I thought it was something with Flash, but I couldn't actually remember. But you've had a good, strong teammate this season. Do you think as well your teammates helped you during races, like be better with setups and practice sessions, and be better overall?
I mean, I've known my teammate for a long time, and he's generally faster than me, like quite considerably. But this season, we're quite more level playing field, so I would say he's helped me quite a lot. Because we're always talking together, we're always in parties, and we help each other with setups and stuff like that. So we are a good combination.
Yeah, you are as well. We've seen it on the track, and this season as well overall, you had much better results than last season. I know I said you were the championship fight last season, but ever since then it's just been slowly going down. And but it looks like you're on the rise so far. Keep it up, mate, and good job today.
Thank you very much.
Right, so we'll end off Tier 3 then for the Monza Grand Prix. Go watch Tier 4. I think who's commentating? I think it's Big Ben and Palmer who are commentating for Tier 4, so that should be interesting. Join us back for Tier 3 next week on Monday at 7:30 for the Singapore Grand Prix. But we haven't left Monza yet, because we still got Tier 1 at 8:15 on Thursday night. So keep tuned then, but we'll see you all, and that was a great race. So thank you for tuning in. See you all later, and have a good rest of the week.